Hello once again, and welcome back to another haphazard recording with Lance Renard in a wonderful place on a beautiful day. And I wanted to start out today's, as usual, recording by thanking my subscribers and letting you know the three things we'll be covering in this essay. And the first thing I will be covering is mentioning why I had to cut off some of my contact address real briefly. Another one I'd like to cover is the comments of the great comments from my subscribers. You guys are really giving me some good directions and ideas and a little bit of confusion, but that's okay. I'm here to help clear that up if possible. And another thing we'll be covering is how the Earth could possibly have been living stuff. I mean, all of the geology that we see to have been soft living tissue. And so these are the issues that we'll be covering, and occasionally we'll run into a few distractions in our haphazard universe. And so the reason I cut off my mailing information was that I've been getting just way too many gifts and too many nice items from people, and cards and letters. And so these cards have been coming in since Valentine's Day from a Miss Jolly. Apparently she's a new subscriber, and Miss Jolly has some suggestions for me, sends me some nice photographs, and tells me how she feels when she listens to my voice. So thank you, Miss Jolly. I'm going to have to regretfully and humbly rescind your offers because of my reservations and whether or not you would like my friends. First of all, if you would get along, and I've done a little research on you. I think I saw one of your movies called Thumb Raider. At any rate, I went into a little bit of research and found out that you like to hang out with pretty boys, and you have a lot of tattoos. You're kind of a rice burner driver, and I'm more of a Harley man. So, but I do appreciate your comments, your suggestions, and the directions that you advise me and all of my subscribers with your ideas and your videos. And those are coming up here right now. And also how the Earth could have been soft biology. So let's check that out. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Me, them. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and just hop right into comments real quick and take a quick look at my channel's comments for today. I have Eric Bright saying, really awesome that you go through your videos, comments, and commentary. Also, to completely enjoy watching haphazard videos. It's very kind of you, Eric Bright. Very much appreciated. Once again, Jane Doe. I'm just going to love it without looking because that's Jane. Show more. Have a fabulous evening. Let's see. I thought this was interesting. Let's take a quick preview. Did you get the comment yes, I got your comments, but I had to delete that video. And he's talking about do-it-yourself air conditioner. Pretty cool. He's got a fan. See how that works? It's like a computer fan. Blows in, blows out. Put ice down and below. That is a sweet idea, gang. Let's all go ahead and think about that. And he's doing the temp check on it. And yeah, he's got it insulated. Do-it-yourself air conditioner, gang. There you go. That's pretty slick. And here we have Deserts NO2. Might as well give him a subscription. And take a quick preview of that. Thank you, Jane, for sending in this informational video for us to check out. Greatly appreciated indeed. So let's go ahead and get back to another comment. That's super. And yeah, I'm sorry I had to be so shallow. Never miss one of your creations. 99% I can wrap my head around. I've seen a lot of unbelievable things in my travels. And mud fossils, yeah, me too. You know, and so many of them I missed. I mean, now I look back and go, holy cow. When I traveled the United States, we got Border Ruffian. Yeah, that's my kind of name, Border. I was a Civil War reenactor for 15 years and studied letters, maps, and plans. And it's strange to me that this first idea was ridiculous. But the more I reflected and restudied it all, I completely convinced that I feel silly for never seeing it before. Thanks for your effects. Cheers, brother. And yeah, I too have been shocked in my work and research and discoveries, and it is fantastic. Like I mentioned, the comment, and Logan says, one more comment: I can't believe so many people do not remember their dreams or say they don't dream at all. I dream even in the middle of the afternoon, having taken a nap, contrary to those scientists that say that you only dream when you're in REM sleep around 3 a.m. And like I say, I've done experiments in the past with dreams and dream working, and it's pretty interesting when you really start working with it and you really start looking into it. And it doesn't have anything to do with any kind of, demonic or angelic. It just has to do with you and your spirituality and finding out a little bit more about yourself. And it's good to be creative. I've never been mad at the scumbags for lying about cover-up in histories. Well, what can you do? They're as much of a victim as the rest. I mean, it's all a victimized situation, in my opinion, but they didn't think they were very good at doing the job and left the pieces scattered all over the place. And I do that as well, but at least we can pick up a few of the pieces and get some ideas, or at least someone else did. I guess because my dad is a carpenter, I looked at the art class, I have always been able to notice the details. I noticed most can't make schmutz, it's lonely, but I'd have it no other way. And do hope there's some climax. Yeah, I do too. I hope there's we're all beating our heads against the wall to try and figure out the truth. I'm absolutely agree with you in the hoping for the climax. He hopes it doesn't happen until 2060. And well, that's my ramble comment. And yeah, bonne nuit. Right. And so yeah, and I kind of rambled through your rambling comment, Logan, but the same point is made. I totally agree. We find out what we can, when we can, and do the best we can with what we have to work with. That's my humble opinion. There was a comment that I kind of glazed through by DN. I thought it was interesting and didn't actually give it much time in one of my videos earlier, and he says that I have worked on old buildings in 17 countries, questioned lots as times went on. Cast and cut can be tested with a simple scratch test with a glass wheel. Cut rock will give a white line, which if you magnify it will see fracture lines, and polymer or made rock has more glazed surface due to the tamping. This will cause the wheel to slip and only scuff. And so that's an interesting point, DN. Thank you. I apologize for glazing over it earlier, but this was put in the Funny Phoenicians. And in several videos I talk about the casting. And here's another one from White Tiger that I sort of glazed by. And so I'm just going to go ahead and load a couple of these and look at some of the curious comments and statements. And Bobby Roos, don't give up, sir, these types of subjects. Something may be 100% truth one day, and then you discover that it's all messed up. And so, yeah, that's absolutely true. And you really love to say, the more we learn, the less we know, and that's true. It's funny, well, it's the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. And in my opinion, because yeah, we study and study, and I've studied different religions and all sorts of different avenues for many years, and boom, then I just realized eventually that I don't really, how much I don't know. It becomes more and more clear. Catherine Gustafson 4 days ago edited, and Tartarians built the Chinese wall, no doubt about it. Nice video, thanks. And thank you, Catherine Gustafson. Greatly appreciated. Russians owned and sold Alaska. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised at these details, folks. I really appreciate you sending them in. And Jane Doe thought I might like this. Once again, Jane, and go ahead and send your videos in, or anything that you think is curious, interesting, fascinating, and fun, because that's what we're here for, is to try and glean some information and not glaze over the details, and try to skip ads that won't skip. Once upon a time, something strange is happening with Disney. Yeah, it's really graceful, who's got a lot of subscribers, and the issues.
An unassuming figure, a man who sought to construct a universe of strange enchantment, a land which might captivate all who longed for
Disney.
a more innocent past. A safe paddock where magic flourished and the echoes of laughter could deafen the sounds of sirens, bombs, and bullets. His kingdom soon stretched to an empire, which encouraged children
he's
to
one
never
scary
grow up
dude.
and told adults they never had to leave. Unlike the kingdoms of old,
And the mindset that Disney began to push and still pushes with the directions of people's thoughts with all of their movies and
societies and nations. And alongside it, the magical Happy Kingdom found its way into every television, onto nursery walls, and within classrooms. Most thought nothing of it, and who could blame them?
The infiltration of Disney.
Distracted and entertained from birth. The very
something to pay attention to.
Molded by machinations.
Something to be aware of.
Escaped the paddock, leaving the gate wide open for others to follow, questioning the true intent of such a grand illusion. What exactly were they being distracted from? What were the real reasons adults were being encouraged to stay children forever? And why did one corporation, seemingly organic in origin and claiming purity in motive, seek to dominate every entertainment medium?
Every entertainment media. Absolutely true and factual. So this is part of the undercurrents.
We all have the same shared childhood experience of being entertained by Disney at some point or another.
Yep.
So let's
definitely something to look into, and I would like to continue this video because it is so curious and fascinating. It looks extremely well produced, put together, unlike my haphazard videos. But then again, I am here to get you to think, and then you follow your path as you decide. And so let's give that a check, and definitely I'm gonna go into that. And now let's get back to our comments once again. Thank you once again, Jane Doe, for all of your astute comments and helpful information. And we'll go ahead and have to give that one a love. Now you'll notice that pop up in your thingamajig. I personally am so clueless about this. Yeah, thanks, Rich. Appreciate that. I just found out that I'm listed in comedy only because I have listed my stuff in comedy. And yeah, so let's see what Rolly Belly says. On the African Antiquitech, the landmass would be true north on our flat Earth. I feel like you've knocked people for steering others wrong, and then brought us over to a globe and started showing missing landmasses between Africa. I don't know, buddy. Yeah, no, I'm not working on the globe theory at all. I took that after, I don't know, buddy, you look a little suspect. Or you a little suspect. Oh, you? Yeah, assumptions are bad, yes, but my discernment is telling me something else. Sorry if I'm wrong, and you are. So, yeah, apology accepted, my good friend. No problemo. But in this particular circumstance or situation, the opinions line up to be the same, and the confusion once again is conveyed by the confused. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next set of details. And if it's not too obvious, the reason the video is going in this direction, and just as a point of interest, the whole ball thing here, I think this should just be flat. I think it should be this should be the middle of it. It should be a big record, and it should have everything laid out simply and easily, and then we just zoom in on it. But that's just me. I'm looking at these mountains and considering that they were once a living organism is something that's just mind-boggling, and that's the reason that this is going in that direction, is because a lot of people, including myself, just can't see it. And then I went into some other people's videos, like people that are, you know, scientists and do their work and research and deep studies. And one of these people was Michael Tellinger. I also got a comment directing me toward it and looking at this curious curvature here. But looking at stones and rock and geology and thinking, how could that possibly have been a living thing? But then again, now we're going to look at the evidence of that curious question right here in this next video. And so with that in mind, this is the video that Michael Tellinger had created about finding a rock or noticing a rock, and then, well, I'll let you go ahead. I'll put it.
What's going on with all these weird shapes, man? And I put the stone down on the wall, one of the walls, and I walked up the mountain. And I said, by the time I come down, I'm going to figure out what this is. And I did. As I was coming down, I suddenly started remembering all the stuff I was seeing in my research into mud fossils. And when I looked at that stone again, I picked it up. I went, oh my goodness, this is a rib. And everything changed.
So he recognized a rib.
And there you can see.
He starts recognizing other body parts.
So we have a shoulder blade. We got one rib here. There's another beautiful elongated rib. And there you can clearly see the.
Now he finds a heart. You can see the veins in the heart.
Coronary artery crossing the heart.
And he talks about something really interesting here.
Completely fossilized, metamorphosized into
here.
Anunnaki worm 3 times the size or twice the size of humans.
Now he talks
that
about
could be an Anunnaki heart.
how it solidifies on the inside.
This is a huge problem for geology and metallurgy and chemistry. It seems that when these body parts get trapped in mud and water, they completely and utterly transmutate and transform from whatever organ it was or body part with the internal structure. It completely metamorphosizes into very dense crystalline rock called hornfells in geological terms.
It condenses into hornfels.
When these fossils break and you look at the internal structure, you can't see internal structure.
Can't see the guts.
This is the mystery. Only when you look carefully, you start seeing some indications of weird things going on. And you'll see what I mean in a second. But just to the untrained eye, when any of these fossils break, it just looks like black rock, known as hornfels.
Looks like black rock.
We have teeth, hearts.
And so he starts verifying and finding more and more. Hasn't DNA tested.
One of the things that happened
What?
was
DNA?
not something new. It has been done before. So I wait with great anticipation these fossils and taken them away to the lab to extract DNA. Yes, you can extract DNA from mud fossils.
There you go. You can extract DNA. You can identify them.
Is that a heart you're holding?
He runs into a surgeon.
Yeah, well, I think it's a heart. You go, well, it is a heart. I'm a surgeon. That's a bloody heart. And I go, wow, you're a surgeon? Yeah, I'm a surgeon at the Johannesburg Gen. So I said, wow, hey, would you mind just...
So then he asked the guy to run around and identify body parts out of, and they're stones. What we see today is stones. Yeah, they were actual body parts. This guy's verifying it and scientifically approved. Here's a foot that he found. Curious and interesting. And he was joking about it. I've joked about it.
This is 6 months before we realized that we're actually dealing with mud fossils.
And the reality of it is
everything changes. Now we go, okay, well,
what it is.
What's going on here? Here we've got
so
bones.
So this gives a good example of how biological material can be covered in fluid. And, fingers, toes, penises, and this actually is. I don't know if these are peni or penis. Thank you, Michael, for showing us your penis, or peni. And so here in the haphazard universe, we can't just let that go. The plural of penis is known as penises. And so there you go. Now you... At any rate, they used to be soft, and now they're hard as a rock. So these are some of the details that we cover in the haphazard universe. These are sound resonance vibrations. And so once again, thank you, Mr. Tellinger, for showing us your stones and your massive peni. Let's get into a couple of other issues here now. Get off of Mr. Tellinger's peni. One moment. And so that's why I'll come in here and start looking around for different strange anomalies and different size relationships. And notice that Africa itself looks like a big skull. And that's a curious, interesting little detail. It sounds like just out of here as far as a mindset goes. But these are some of the strange anomalies of our universe that we might want to consider. it's just kind of fun to look at certain things, and you never know, you might zoom in on something obvious and strange that you didn't actually, if you change the way that you look at things, like Mr. Tellinger was talking about, and then you look at there's no way, and he's been into geology, biology, and different sciences all his life. I have dabbled in many and become a master of few, very, in my opinion, but still I can do some good. So the next thing that I was thinking about, was whether or not there were any museums for petrified, parts, and so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. And if there are fossils like the ones we were just looking at, that would be a museum of those, would be a penal colony, pretty sure. And so we're going to look at those things here real quick. So as usual, we'll go ahead and do a quick search on museums for penises. And here we have an Icelandic phallical. Just out of quick curiosity, and I don't want to show any gross photographs. I'm just kind of looking at some, the curator, or he's a phallologist apparently, and I was wondering if they had one for sports, and I don't know, I mean like a jockstrap museum. I don't know how deeply I'd want to get into jockstraps, but just a quick, slick curiosity here in the haphazard universe, looking at some of the different fundamental curiosities in our lives, and especially calcified, petrified, and mineralized biology, and which turns into geology, which gives us this place that we live on and walk around on, and cast ye not stones. Well, cast ye not somebody's liver at some, so cast ye not the first liver, my good friend, and realize that these stones probably were, once they're soaked in mud and fluid and the great flood and the upcoming catastrophes. Well, let's just take a look at what's here and now, and thank you for watching this short haphazard video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, please, because it'll just make my day better and it'll give me more reasons, and I need your comments. I mean, really, seriously, it helps so much. So appreciate that, and love ya, and talk to you soon.